Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 25 live feed spoilers. This is day 41. This is really coming off of one of the weirdest weekends I can
Mhm,
remember for, this season for sure, but if not, just recent seasons in general.
mhm,
We had a really chaotic episode that aired last night.
mhm.
We have a lot of just weird gameplay. We're adding all of that, just costumes, messiness, arguments. There is a lot to get into here, but we'll start with, what has actually happened directly in the game.
Yeah, okay, so Cameron is HOH and he has nominated Felicia and Izzy, as was shown on, last night's show.
Yeah.
People were like, pied in the face, your favorite, until the last two without pies were the nominees. It's just, in our last video for Big Brother, I had said that I was really not looking forward to this sort of like humiliation week. And, I'm still here as much as, I know you love a good pie in the face. It's just like, I feel like this isn't for me. I'm more interested in watching people fall.
Okay. See, that is also very unserious, but I am here also I am here for this brand of unserious. I'm not going to sit here and say that I love every single thing about Humilla Week. Like I'm not going that far. Like, I've already made my personal stance about have-nots very, very clear.
Mhm.
But pies in the face are always funny.
All right.
Always funny. And I'm not going to give Cameron any real credit for this. Like I know a lot of people love the big bold move, and yeah, I mean, good on you, Cameron, I guess, for putting yourself out there. But in terms of just like the drama of this ceremony and the pies, hats off production. Like this was surprisingly really tense. If this actually makes them bring the key wheel back from like past seasons, that everybody got the pies in the face, and I was just
Yep.
sitting here, I knew what was going to happen, but the drama, I was just like, man, I'm really into this, and it's stupid.
Okay, before we go any further, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are here a few times a week talking about Big Brother, bringing you all the live feed updates for the whole season, all 100 days. So hit that subscribe button and stick with us.
Yeah, thank you
Okay,
guys.
Jared was picked for veto over the weekend with Matt and Jag. So these are all the players. And who won is Jared.
Congrats, Jared.
Yeah, okay. Congrats, Jared. He kind of won by default because this was the veto where you're choosing between the veto or you're choosing a prize, and we all know how that kind of goes.
Okay, so this is we haven't seen the show yet, obviously. So some of this information I'm about to say, it's based on what people have said in the house. And apparently, Matt was the quote unquote winner. And if we want to talk about unserious things, I don't know what to make of this, but apparently he chose something involving Josh Duhamel, famed host of CBS's upcoming Buddy Games, which I have not seen other than like a 20-second commercial that they've started to play, thinking that he would actually get to hang out with Josh Duhamel, which I guess I don't know Josh Duhamel well enough to know if I would even want that. I don't like hanging out with that many people, if I'm being honest.
Well, I'm glad that I'm one of
Yes,
them.
you are. There you go. No, okay.
Listen, it's humiliation week. I don't know why he thought that Josh Dumel was going to be like coming into the house or he gets to go have like, a beer with him or something.
Yeah. Instead, he just has to haul around a cardboard cutout of Josh Duhamel with him all week and take photos with it. Like I've sort of said, a lot of this stuff is stupid. I really shouldn't like it, but there's a weird, sad part of me that kind of does. I also kind of hope for Matt's sake that this is all like, I don't know, a cover, and he just didn't want to actually have the veto, and he's just saying this because otherwise, Matt, my dude, Matt, what, why, Josh Duhamel's gonna just show up and spend a full day in the Big Brother house with you people?
These are always like this is always the veto that would make me the most nervous
Yep.
because if you don't choose the veto and you just choose a vacation or money
Yep.
or whatever, then you look like you think you're pretty safe. Like I would be watching this competition like a hawk because it's very telling who chooses what. So Matt wants to hang out with Josh Dumel. you feeling all right in this house, I see.
Yep.
Okay, I'll pay attention to that. I think it's important for that. But
Yeah.
other punishments that have come out is Suri and Felicia have been forcibly paired together in a kayak where they have to row around the house anytime they want to get anywhere.
I love it so much.
I know.
It's great.
Izzy and Cameron, meanwhile, had to wear these pig costumes and they have to transfer dirt over to a trough. And at the time of this recording, they're still wearing
Yeah, okay. We're the kayaking is the most consistently fun of all of
them. It
these.
is.
It's just the visual of it, but okay, all right. We'll talk about serious things other than the unserious stuff. The kayaking is important strategically, but we'll get to that in a little while. So the veto ceremony is today, and leading up to this, Cameron he wants the veto used, and he's claimed that he wanted Suri up so that he could ensure that Izzy leaves, but yeah, well, okay, that is the
Okay.
that is the appropriate reaction. It's like, of course, we think that he really wanted Suri out. He called her the president in his diary room on last night's show, and he has told these people all sorts of things this week. But Jared wouldn't budge. Like there was all this talk about fake plans last night where they could go and pretend like Jared was thinking about using the veto, and there was like some nonsense that happened, and these two bros were sort of gassing each other up and doing all of that other sort of nonsense. Like I guess it worked to a certain extent. It made Jag paranoid enough that he was like trying to get some parts of like Riley's old alliance, here we go mentioning Riley again, together again in the house. But it's just all kind of like, okay guys, can we not just do all this nonsense? There's already people doing kayaking in the house.
Yeah, Jared was not going to do that. There was going to be a very real possibility that his mom was going to go up. There
Yeah.
was no convincing him. This was a worst case scenario, really, for Cameron, unless Sari just won it herself. Like
Yeah.
it would just. Cameron, listen, things are not working out for you again this week, sort of. You're not. If you can't get Sari, you can get somebody else. Felicia.
This is pour one out for Felicia.
I know,
There's still hope, but
There's always hope, but I don't know. Okay, Blue went and relayed a lot of this to Jared. Really just seems like she's trying to protect herself at all turns.
Blue is a frustrating player to watch because she'll have these conversations with people who you'll want to think are her allies. Then somebody like Jag, and then she just goes and says everything to Jared, and it's just like, are you really working mostly with Jared? Are you just wanting Jared to trust you? Are you making sure Jag is a bigger target so that he will always go before you? Is this even strategy? I have no idea with Blue. I don't.
Yeah, it's I don't know that Blue knows what Blue is doing at this point. But, of course, in the end, Jared did not use the veto.
No.
Like Cameron wants Izzy gone, but it's more likely my girl Felicia will likely be going out the door. I mean, it's still early,
Yeah.
it's Monday. A lot can change. We've seen it.
There's still time, and we'll talk a little bit about how there's still time. There's like a little bit of room for things to get really weird and unpredictable. So
Yes.
a part of the problem here, of course, is that Cameron is probably the most stubborn individual who has ever lived. And today, like Matt, Bowie, and America all told Cameron that the house wants Felicia out. He's not listening. He's not giving up. Like he's throwing Izzy under the bus to Matt and sort of just explaining that Izzy is a stronger competitor for like mental challenges. I'm sure he is going to say and do whatever he can over the next few days to try to get the vote to flip in Izzy's favor. I mean, whether or not he has any social capital with anybody, I don't know about that.
Listen, Cameron's HOH-itis is like out of control. Like he really is feeling himself. He's really delusional. He thinks that like everyone's going to be really good with him moving forward after this, even though he's been lying to everybody all week. He thinks he has the numbers. Like he's really in a weird spot.
Okay, Cameron, well let's have an honest conversation here for a moment. Like I don't like you. I think I've made that very clear in these videos. I don't like how you speak to women in the game. You make me uncomfortable. I mean, you have provided a lot of content, a lot of drama. I'm sure production does appreciate that. But here's the thing, Cameron. Just because you provided a lot of drama and you did make a very big move, hats off to you for that. That doesn't mean that people one, like you in the game, two, want you to be like working with them long term. Like you're not set up well, and you're living in your own world of delusion. Like there's still a good case he's gonna go as soon as he loses a competition.
Absolutely. Like it's very likely that he will end up, if he doesn't win his way to the end. I mean, he's not getting to the end.
Okay, let's have a Matt, Matt, America, and Corey conversation
Yeah.
here, because America and Corey are, to me, like, I'm not even talking too much about the showman stuff, but just in terms of like the game, they're two of the more interesting players right now who have there's a chance they could do a lot of stuff. So Matt has told America that he and Suri played for the power of invincibility and that he won. America then relayed that information to Corey and told him, in part not to trust Izzy or Suri. And he finally is starting to wake up a little bit in the game. He's finally starting to realize that he's not in the best spot, because if he was in the best spot, he would have been told this information earlier.
Yeah.
And if America is getting this information before him, that's like, okay, people are not trusting me. I need to figure out something else. Like here's the one showman's thing I'm saying. I'm not telling everybody that the two are kissing because I want to tell everybody that the two are kissing. Like,
you kissing and telling for them.
Okay, I'm kissing and telling. I'm sorry, America, Corey, but you guys are also kissing and telling, and you guys are using this information. I think this is just sort of my own tinfoil hat on all of this, is that I think they're using this as sort of a way to see who shares information with who and try to sort of sift out who you can trust. And if you are gonna have a storyline about people kissing in the house, like, at least do something with it. I have said before, I haven't minded this showmance as much, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm good on watching people kiss in Big Brother. It's just not for me. I'm sorry.
It's not for me either. But I mean, okay, still talking about Corey here.
Yeah.
Corey heard from Izzy, who's like clearly trying to get trust, for the vote this week. I mean, she's got to do what she's got to do to be able to stay.
Yeah.
That Blue is ratting out information on him and America. So he also feels now that Jared is throwing America under the bus.
Yeah. This is all setting up a really sort of interesting position now leading into the vote, because Corey and America are starting to kind of understand more that, okay, Blue is ratting out information.
Yep.
We can't really trust Jared as much as we possibly could at one point. So do you try to find a way to keep Felicia in the game? This is a long shot, a very, very long shot, but there are 9 people voting. Felicia needs 5 in order to stay. So it would take Corey, America, Jag, Bowie Jane, and Matt to make this happen. But even still, Corey has been close to Izzy. Matt listens a lot to Suri.
Yep.
I don't want to sit here and say I don't see how this is going to happen, because that seems very pessimistic, and I don't want to do your girl Felicia like that. But
I know, it's just, Felicia has yet to campaign really hard, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's Monday.
Yeah.
There's time for that. And, it's just, it's really hard, because for a while it was kind of limited by the kayak punishment, right?
Yeah.
Like the kayak punishment is supposed to end today,
Yeah.
but it's tough if you're with Suri in this kayak anytime you want to go anywhere. It's just like, all right, let's kayak over here because I need to talk to Matt about staying. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
That punishment needs to end.
Yeah, it needs
unfair.
to end. And, I'm sure Felicia's going to have some time to go and say some things to various people. I just think the real question is, how aware is she going to be of sort of where she stands in certain parts of the house and who she can really rely on? Like, she's going to have to talk to a lot of people who she may not really talk to as much in the game. I'm rooting for her. I realize it is an uphill battle. And all right, speaking of things that feel a little bit like an uphill battle, and once again, don't like Cameron. I hate that I have to preface this on a lot of things, but I always know there's going to be comments. Why are you rooting for Cameron now? I'm not. But
well, we also are getting in the comments, why do you not like Cameron? Which is kind of interesting too.
I
of
feel
how
like
much they're actually portraying him on the show differently than they are on the
yes.
feeds, as always happens.
Yeah, no shocker there.
Yeah.
But for those of you asking that question, I think we covered it earlier in the video today.
Yeah.
But okay, America, she realizes that Cameron is unlikable. Cameron's not somebody who, people want to hang out with,
Mhm.
but he's also an easy shield. And this is sort of where things in the next couple weeks, like if you are America, if you are a Corey, like I'll even throw a Jag in there. Do you want to have a ways to stick around in this game for a little while? It feels like Cameron is always going to be a bigger target for Cerie's group, at least
Mhm.
at this given point. Do you want to contemplate keeping him for a little while if you win HOH? I understand being in the house with him does not seem like a pleasant experience, even if he is wearing a pig costume. It's just like, I still would not I still would at least consider it. It's for a lot of money at the end of the game. And, at this point, these people got to realize, even if you don't know about Jared and Cerie, Cerie and Izzy are like really close.
Yes, they really are really close. And, I know that Felicia has also been seen as close to Suri as well, but there has been enough talk and little bit of breakup there. They're still fine with each other, but it's just the same. There's enough out there in the house that I'm actually really shocked that everybody is not targeting Izzy to get Izzy out, because Izzy and Suri are so close.
Yeah.
That needs to be broken up.
Well,
And I say that as somebody who
yeah.
actually really likes Izzy a lot as well. Like, this is my nightmare, having Izzy on the
I know.
block as well as Felicia. Like, I hate this.
Either way, we're going to lose a tremendous asset for this season, both in terms of like hijinks and diary rooms. Like
Yes.
they're both really, really fun. But
Yes.
here's the good news, I guess, for Izzy, is if Cameron was executive producer of this show. Well, this is actually bad news for Izzy. Good news for Felicia, that apparently Cameron's got all the votes and that he controls the house now in Cameron's mind.
Yep, King Cameron.
Okay. All right. We'll tie everything up here. We got to do some kayaking, but be sure to hit that subscribe button. We do have a lot more Big Brother 25 coverage coming. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We will see you here next time.